Hello everybody, welcome back to my creative space. This is Emma, and wow, aren't I the lucky one? I get to sit here in this lovely place and make things. And more, I'm not calling myself a textile artist, I'm just calling myself somebody who likes making things, because I think to call yourself an artist is a bit of a funny old thing, isn't it? I just think it's a label that I don't particularly want to attach to anymore. I just want to be somebody who's a creator, whatever it is. And my theme this week is going to be something a little bit different. I have been thinking about repairing things, mending things. Some of you will know who've watched my channel for a little while. I like to repair my jeans and I don my cardigans. And I grew up, I'm sure like many of you, we didn't have a lot of money when I was growing up. My mum and dad, we had 4 kids, 4 children to bring up. My dad didn't have a massive income, and he supplemented it by having some other businesses and things on the side. So they worked really hard, my mum and dad. My mum used to make lots of clothes. She used to hand knit our jumpers for school. We used to have we would have 2 shirts for school and a hand knitted jumper and often a handmade skirt or tunic. You know, we had clothes for Saturday, like jeans, trousers. There weren't even jeans then, I don't think. And something for Sunday, something nice for Sunday, like a Sunday dress or something to go out for tea to granny's, something like that. So really very simple. Everything was a little bit threadbare. Lots of things were handed down. So I got, you know, second-hand clothes from my brothers and sisters. Well, one sister, I should say. 2 brothers and 1 sister. So I grew up in a household where we made things and we did things. My dad was always fixing things or building things or, you know, repairing things that needed fixing. So I think this is an attitude which is coming back more and more, I've noticed, in the world. It's really good as we begin to realise that actually we need to look after everything that we've got. So I came across a lady recently in Edinburgh. My friend Jenny showed me an article online about her, and she was going out into the streets, and you may have come across somebody like this, or you may have come across her in the news if you're in the UK. And I know there's somebody in London who does the same thing. She's a craftivist or a craft activist, as they call themselves. This lady anyway, she goes out into the street. She took her repairing, she took clothes to repair, she sewed buttons on, she put zips in. I don't know what she was doing. She was repairing her clothes and showing people how you could make things out of second-hand clothes, and you needn't throw your things away, you could just turn them into something new. But it was so simple, the idea that you would sit on a street corner in a deck chair or whatever on a sunny day, and you'd show people that you were sewing buttons back onto your shirts, or you were darning something. Because a lot of people don't actually, I think, grow up with that as a thing these days. Everything's a bit fast, everything's a bit sort of, well, the button's fallen off, I'll just chuck it out, I'll send it to the charity shop. If it's lucky, it goes to a charity shop. And I'm sitting here, I have to say, I'm sitting here in a charity shop find. This is a really lovely little crochet top that I found, and I bring it out every year around about this time. I absolutely love it. It's one that I didn't cut up, because often I cut things up from the charity shop. But anyway, I just love the idea of showing people how simple it is to repair things. So I thought, I often repair my things using my free machine embroidery on my sewing machine, very simply. So I'm just going to show you me repairing some jeans this week. I've got a couple of other little things that I'm going to do just for a bit of a change. It's not art as such, but there will be, you know, some creativity in it, because as you know, you've got to have a bit of creativity in it somewhere, even if it's just choosing the fabrics, even if it's just how you put your patches on your jeans, you know, something daft like that. So I thought this would make a little fresh change, and I think I'm really interested in either, I don't know, joining a group or starting a group. Maybe this will inspire somebody here to go out and mend your clothes on the streets, I don't know, or join a group. This lady in Edinburgh, I will leave a link below. She now has 49 other women who go out with her, and it's fantastic. There's this row of them on the street in deck chairs and they call it "Stitch It, Don't Ditch It," which I think is a fantastic slogan. So this week it's all about stitch it, don't ditch it, and so I hope you'll join me. Let's see what I've got, and we'll have a go at fixing it. So this is a subject very close to my heart, and I'm sure many of you will be likewise. You know, I hate to throw cloth away. I hate to throw any kind of fabric away. Small scraps, as you know, I keep everything because you never know when it might just come in handy for something. So this is kind of my trouser repair kit, if you like, because it's all these lovely blues. It's for my jeans. And what I thought today was I'm just going to do a little bit of free machine embroidery, which is a very useful technique I find for doing this. Now, some people would be doing this with hand stitching. My good friend Jenny does sashiko. She does a lot of sashiko work. And you could very much be simply, you know, hand stitching this. You don't have to do it by machine. But for me personally, I like things to be fairly quick if I can. Although I'm slow, I do like using my machine. I wouldn't really be interested in sitting hand stitching this. That's not my bag. So I'm going to just do some machine stitching on this. And I thought this pair over here I rather like because I found a very plain piece of denim to put on. I've already, as you can see, I've already repaired both of these once, but I'm just, you know, what happens is you strengthen one bit, don't you, and then the next bit rips. So I've got a big rip down here. So I'm going to just put this extra patch on, and I thought, well, what would be quite nice to do with this is a nice embroidery on it. And I was thinking, well, would I embroider that on first? And I thought, no, I'll embroider it once it's stitched onto the trouser, if you like, and it's held in place. So I thought it's just a different use for free machine embroidery, and as I say, it's close to my heart. It's more recycling, it's more, you know, stitch it, don't ditch it. I have got these jeans that I've had these jeans for absolutely years, and I love them to bits, and I just keep repairing them. I mean, they are in such a state. I keep putting bits on the bottom. You can see there I've already repaired that bit down there. I love them. The more frayed they get, they're my old friends. They're really old friends. And they're so soft and easy to wear. And especially for the summer, they're quite light. So anyway, this is a job that's been waiting for me to do. And I thought, well, I'm going to just do it now, get them stitched, and then we'll see what else is going to happen. So it's a bit fiddly, but I'm using free machine embroidery basically to stitch these patches on, because I find that much easier, because you can go in any direction that you want to. So I've taken the extra bit off my machine. I've got one of these bits that you can actually take off, which is quite useful. And then I'm just simply, she says, so I'm just stitching it down once like this, and then I'll go back and do some zigzagging and things. Not perfect, but the important thing is I'm doing it. I've been waiting to do this for several months, as these things go, you know how it is. Now that's just slipped a little bit. There we go. So I've stitched that around once, and now I can actually zigzag it over the edges, so the edges will get saved when it goes in the washing machine. So I mean, you could do this with your foot down. It's just I find it much easier because you can go in any direction that you want to. I find it easier. And I don't mind if it looks a bit rough. This gets a bit more tricky doing the zigzag on it, and the most important thing is you make sure you don't get any of the rest of the trouser leg stuck underneath it. But because I've stitched it down already here, it's not going to move, hopefully, she says. As I say, it's a bit of a fiddle, and maybe you'd prefer to do it by hand, I don't know, but to me this is a fairly straightforward job, just a little bit fiddly. No worse than making some of my artwork, to be honest. And then I'll have the satisfaction of knowing that I have repaired it again. These dear old trousers will do another day. So I'm just going to leave my needle in and twizzle it round, and then what I can do is just go backwards with it. So this is the the wrong side of the jeans, and you can see the big gaping tear that I'm trying to fix. And this is my own method of doing this. Nobody else has to do it this way. I could put another patch on top of that, I guess. I could even actually just cut that piece of fabric away. I could just take that away completely. Do you know, isn't that lovely underneath? I rather like the way it does that. It's like a secret showing of something, isn't it? You could be hiding things underneath there. I think there's a work of art in this somewhere. And I love all of these little bits, but I am actually going to trim them off because they're likely just to carry on fraying. So I'm just going to trim these off a bit. I just love them though. I mean, even that fabric I love because it's been part of this cloth, part of the weave. Somebody's woven this cloth somewhere. Right, so that's that. So I'm just wondering whether I'm going to actually just do a stitch down there possibly, maybe put another patch on that bit. I'm not sure. Let's just have a little think about it. So what I've done, this is the underneath side that I showed you that was all messy, and I've just done a sort of a straight line up here with some zigzags, and I've tried to make it into a seed head, and we'll have a little look over the other side and see if that's been successful at all. Just get it off the machine. Oops. I still haven't cut that. So what I love about this is it doesn't really matter. These jeans are going to last as long as they last, and I'm just having a bit of fun playing around with some ideas here. So now I'm really just going to play and make another seed head. That's my sort of seed head shape. I need to cut that. So the idea is this will help keep those two patches together so they won't sort of separate out and ruckle up, hopefully. But I'm also just doing it because it's fun. So there we go. That's my jeans fixed. That was the old patch, the original one. This is my nice new patch that I've kind of decorated with some seed heads. It's not fabulous, it's not earth-shattering, but it means my jeans get a little bit longer use by me before they go and get recycled in some fashion. And this is my second pair, and all I did with these was I just added a bit more of a patch on. This is so lovely. This is a piece of jeans material that belonged to my nieces when they were young. And they were a beautiful pair of jeans with sort of a pattern on, and I've kept this fabric and I keep using it and reusing it. That's the original patch there. You can see how worn that is, and I've just put another little patch on the seam there just to keep that hole from getting any bigger. I think that's the trick with darning things and patching things, is to fix it before it gets too big a hole, because I have left them sometimes and they just your foot gets caught in them and the holes get bigger. So fix it sooner rather than later. And I might do some little edgy bits on these. It's a funny thing, but I've really come to enjoy doing this patching, and it makes my jeans my old favourites. I mean, you can see how battered and well worn they are. They've been so well washed. It's just a pleasure to fix them and see what you can do. I mean, you can put pretty things on, but I think at the base of here I would just put a little bit of something dark. I'll just put a little bit of jeans patchy material here. Stick that over there with a bit of stitching, and then that keeps it going for a little bit longer. And it's a lovely Saturday afternoon job. It doesn't involve any brain power whatsoever, just a bit of fiddling and a bit of free machine embroidery.